Old
It's at
Denver Broncos
39
Mile High
minutes.
View. No
Can't
commercials,
go at
no
35.
bullshit. The most hated Denver Broncos channel out there. The pirate NFL channel of the NFL. We're definitely a pirate channel. I'm only wearing this shirt because my wife was sick, sleeping upstairs, and I only had this available. Oh, I do have the Floyd Little jersey. I guess I could have wore. Anyway, so we had done yesterday a video right before the unsurprising announcement that the one is all about one player. The announcement that one player got elevated to starting quarterback. That just keep me in suspense. And we talked about, and this is before the announcement, that how fake the whole quarterback competition was. Woody Page even came out and, stop with the nonsense. But we were, of course, the first to say that. So before we get into the whole grifting that's been going on, the detractors will like this story. Yesterday we did a video and neither one of us could save it. Microsoft would not allow us to save or download our own video. So it was kind of frustrating. It's about almost an hour of, we probably set off the buzzwords like, how, the Broncos, this Walmart General fan base is investing into one person as they always do, ignoring the 52 other players. And it's like this political system, which probably triggered all kinds of things that both the right and the left, their guy, their gal, that it's, what's the point? None of them care about you. None of them do. But yet you think that, it's like Joe Rogan had said just recently. He said, nobody's running the country. Biden's been brain dead. It's like, this has been going on for decades. The guy they got, or, he's El Presidente. Come on, he's a puppet. The money runs it, okay? The agencies that they buy and sell and infiltrate run it, okay? Your vote means nothing, okay? One day you'll figure that out, and maybe you'll do something on a local level instead of thinking that you can get it done, on some sort of a federal, behemoth centralized level. It's just not going to happen. So with that thought, we talk about the Walmart Generals. We talk about the Walmart Generals because we got another year of grifting, and it just hit stratospheric proportions. And our detractors come on, and the stuff that they say is nonsense. We're going to go through a general post here that's kind of a general thought process of these detractors. But I did find something, my thought. I sat back and by doing these videos, I've learned something about the billionaire trillionaire club, and this is just football. And this is, we still get things taken down. It's ridiculous. You do anyway. You definitely do for sure. When obviously a billionaire trillionaire, when they get mad, how they deal with their anger is, like going to them tube and having you removed. But what they also do is throw massive amounts of money to grifters to patch up the things we expose and other people expose. So you said Colin Cowher, and this is going to dispel everything these people say. You mentioned Colin Cowher, and he is the number one. I would say he's the king of the grifters, because wasn't it last year he said it's like it's a shoe-in, the Super Bowl with the Broncos and Russell Wilson. Am I correct with that?
Yes.
Okay, so I'm going to let you speak right now. You may speak.
Well, I mean, I really don't have anything to say. I mean, I kind of just spoke my piece in the video we did yesterday. Unfortunately, we couldn't upload it because for some unknown reason, Microsoft and them wouldn't let us save the video and upload the video. So, I mean, I just want to dive into this, the video we're doing today, and
get it over with.
Yeah, because I'm tired of talking about this team, to be quite frank with you.
Yeah. I mean, you were even talking about, wondering if Seattle is going to get the call. We need to elevate this franchise and this player. like when I told you I worked in media and did work with the Bills, Giants, and we would look at this Tom Brady when he first came out. And I know this doesn't go sit well with the legend, but when Tom Brady was new, he had a lot of 3-and-outs, and they were bailing him out left and right. The refs were, and of course the Tuck rule and all this was going on at the time, and none of us could figure out why they were so in love with this guy. It just didn't make any sense. And then we're giving him so much, and I'm just wondering if that's kind of where the Nix thing is going to go. And then they had Brady morph into a soldier. It was right before all that bullshit with the wars, as always. So anyway, we're just wondering. We're just wondering because I mean a lot of money has been spent with these grifters. And what a grifter? Let me explain what a grifter is. A grifter is somebody like Colin Cowherd. He gets paid to say wonderful things that don't. He is also nobody takes him serious. I mean, if you're reading the comments, he's grifted and been wrong so many times. But he says what people want to hear, and for the likes, the subs, the money, that's a grifter. Anybody who sells something to somebody that they want to hear and then just rips them off, and basically lie to them. And there's plenty of grifters on YouTube, plenty of them, and they're lining up because it's easy money. This channel, we are the opposite of that. We're hated, but we don't even make no money, and we do a hell of a lot more work than any of those grifters. We have one grifter. His name is Cecil Lammy. He's a local grifter. He talked about the emails. I'm going off script. He literally said it indirectly. I know what the email said. I'm going off script. So we're not that. You don't get that here. If the Broncos were doing great, we would be saying, hey, they're doing really good. They're nobody's perfect, but here's what they're doing. But this organization is way more into their PR department than they are actually putting a good product on the field. Sean Payton was hired to work in the sandbox of the trust. They're still there. The trust is all still there. And he's going to work in their sandbar with these crap players that they got. So, I mean, I looked at the film with the Indianapolis Colts, and I saw the same old Broncos, the same crappy Broncos, Bulls getting blown up. That first-string defensive lineman was not even letting Bulls even get near chokehold. He just blew him up. That was up repeatedly, and Flacco with all the time in the world. That's what, again, starters. That's what I saw. So we make a video. We're just mocking. We are acting like the grifters. This man's going on and on about Bo Nix being the next coming of Jesus Christ. And boy, did they hate that. You want to talk about how much they hated you being them?
Well, there was a method behind that whole entire video that we did after the Super Bowl. That was the second stringers, third stringers, and practice squad players of the Green Bay Packers versus the Walmart General starters. There was a method behind that because I wanted to act just like these mentally ill Walmart General fans and throw it back in their face. And boy, did I succeed fully on that front. So it's just great to see all these Walmart General fans freaking out because I acted like them and threw it back in their face because you guys are just easy to read and all that stuff. So
yeah, remember in the last video we did that nobody will ever see because we can't download it? I was talking about how Sean Payton started utilizing 7 personnel groupings for blocking and then leaking out. What was your response? They don't care.
Yeah, they don't care about that. I did a 45-minute film breakdown on my channel, and again, it's being suppressed and all that. And even the video that we did together after the Super Bowl, that was the second stringers, third stringers, and practice squad players of the Green Bay Packers versus the starters of the Walmart Generals. Even that video is being suppressed, but that's getting more views because the title and the thumbnail that you use, because that's all these people care about as quarterbacks. They don't care about
one player. It's one player, right? Just like it's about one El Presidente, right? He or she will fix everything. Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, because they care so much about you. So, anyway, with that said, we get detractors, and what we did is we read from a particular detractor, and I'm going to read this. We're going to answer this on video. this is the typical garbage we get from these people, and I just want to address it, on video here. So this was on our last video, and I just want to put this. They start off by saying that nobody is claiming the Broncos are winners because they dominated the team drills. Okay, what you've been, this is categorically false, by the way, this nobody, saying nobody. A lot of these generals, PR grifters, after this, you even have Belichick.
I know.
So don't tell me nobody, okay? Not one of them. Not one of them. And you send me, we'll get into that. Not one of them mentioned that this was against second stringers and third stringers and the practice squad. No, they don't even mention that. But what I want to emphasize as well is that when they like I Colin Cowher, for instance, they get the script to read this stuff. Not one of them. I'm trying to think as I just lost my train of thought on. Oh no, you sent me. This is what I wanted to say. You sent me all these things, and they like, I don't know who was it. Was Cowher was saying Tom Brady, I think, right?
Yeah.
Other grifters were saying this is Mahomes. This is Mahomes. Mahomes. Let me ask you this: did Mahomes get this much PR when he came out?
No.
Let me ask you this: did Caleb Williams even get this much? Did one of the guys, the number one guy? No. Did Joe Burrow get this much when he? No. And on and on and on. It's always with this Walmart, because that's, like I said, we come out, we point out, no, you're full of shit. Oh, well, how do we counter that? Well, we spend all this money, not where, it needs to be spent. Well, no, we're going to spend it on a bunch of liars to tell you what you want to hear so they can grift. And they're more than happy to line up and line their own pockets with empty promises and things you people want to hear. So don't tell me nobody is talking about this. This is just a big cash cow for all the grifters out there, this Bo Nix thing. And let me just say this, too. Our take on Bo Nix is we feel sorry for him. He's got to live up to Tom Brady now. He's been elevated to Breeze, Brady, Manning. And he was making fun of it, but that's what these grifters are doing. And then you have people saying we're not saying that. That's all you see out there is that shit. So let's read on.
Can I expand on that point real quick?
Yeah, absolutely.
So to expand on that point, you guys keep saying you're not a part of it, but you guys continue to encourage stuff like that. So that's the type of stuff I'm talking about. You guys are still a part of that crowd. This man and myself have been on this trajectory for about a couple of years now where we are just ahead of the game as per usual with this organization because they predetermine what they're going to do. I did a perfect example of this was when I was doing a live stream of the draft. I said they're going to pick a receiver here. They're going to do this. They're going to do that. Because why? Because of the track record over the past 8-9 years with this organization. So
the trust is still there. They're still there at the front office.
Yep. So when you guys say that you never said that, but you guys are encouraging the grifters, you guys are, subscribing to the grifters, you guys are supporting the grifters because you just want that fix of the Bo Nix Kool-Aid. So that's all I had to say to that.
Yeah, and just so you know that subs, we don't buy subs and views, but these grifters do it, and they have it, or they work for the front office, and they have them. They paid for them, and some of them are actual NFL, like Locked On as an NFL franchise, grifting, acting as a third party.
And just to expand on that point, sorry to interrupt you, Chopped Liver. Just to expand on that point, DNVR was doing a breaking news because that fake quarterback competition that never was, and we both knew that Bo Nix was going to be the starter for the Walmart Generals. Yeah. You're absolutely right. They did a live stream, and like 88 people watched that. 88 people watched that.
But how many subscribers do they
have? I haven't looked recently. I got to go.
It's like 10,000 or something. 8,000.
Yeah, I would say around that ballpark.
Yeah. So if you have that many, how is it you only have 88? That was exactly the point I made on the last video. Yeah, yep. They won't explain that. Yeah, I mean, we know the game. We understand the game. And our real crime is that we tell it like it is. Are we 100% perfect? No. But are we like 98%? Because it's not hard to to see what's going on. We actually do critical thinking on our own. And he was asking, can you just think critically? And again, this is just, I'm going to go through this post. This is the mindset of these detractors. And I don't know if this guy's from the front office or not, but it's just typical stuff, just nonsense. The fans, they're hopeful that it's a sign the team is improved. Okay. All right. We've been here before, right?
Hopeful that the team has improved, just like under Russell Wilson, just like under Locke, just under like Joe Flacco, just like under Paxton Lynch, Case Keenum, Trevor Siemian, Jeff Driscoll, all the above.
Yeah, we've seen this movie so many times. Yeah. All there are is preseason games and practices at this point, and you can only pass the test you're giving. My take is, you call that a test? That's a test? All I know is the Packers didn't look at it as a test. They're just scrimmaging. That's the part that all you people and all you grifters, the grifters didn't want to mention that. For them, it wasn't the Super Bowl. Obviously, they had a preseason game where they sat their starters. The matter of fact, I was mentioning to them that when the defensive line that just blew through the Broncos offensive line, the Walmart Generals, they said they let up, got hot and they let up. And I believe that. And believe me, I don't think Green Bay is very much. I think they're pretty close to the Broncos. But one thing they do have a decent first string defensive line. So that doesn't make that for them. This was just a practice. But why during the preseason game is Sean Payton running midseason? As a matter of fact, they were delighted. The podcasters for Green Bay were delighted that the Broncos were doing midseason schemes. I mean, they were running vanilla. So how is it a test? I just don't understand how this in any way is considered a test. Go ahead.
Well, what did you say before the game? Explain to the folks what you said before the game, like you did in the last video. I mean, you specifically were ahead of it, as always, Child's Liver, where you said this is a PR stunt by the front office and the NFL, to be quite frank with you. Because
Green Bay. With
the Walmart Generals.
Yeah, in Green Bay.
Correct.
I said, as soon as they started setting the starters out and everybody in Green Bay going, what the hell's going on? I knew the fix was in. And I just want to bring this up too. I brought this up. What also this shows, he talks about the test, right? This team, it can't beat another team unless they sit down starters. Unless somebody like the Green Bay Packers during a regular season game, as they're marching down, get two bogus calls that we couldn't see on the film, and we would have said, hey, look, yeah, you guys screwed up. But we couldn't see the flinch and the other thing that they had became a 15-yard deficit they had to make up, that they weren't good enough at that point to make it up. And then you have Patrick Mahomes, who had arguably his worst game of the season, not because anything the Broncos did, except I will give the slot corner. He did actually, unlike Justin Simmons, he actually jumped a route. Other than that, the other four turnovers or five turnovers, I can't remember which, Buffalo and Kansas City. But they need a team to turn the ball over five or six times. Buffalo, same thing. Even though they turned it over 5 or 6 times, they still needed 12 men on the field. Okay? And on and on. The quarterback for Minnesota and their star receiver, they need all this stuff. And then when they finally put, and we said that last year, as soon as they play a team that their people are in there, they're not making mistakes and nothing special, they just don't make mistakes, they'll win. The other team will win the game. That's exactly what happened with the Texans, as we said it would. And then their downhill spiral went on from there because teams weren't making mistakes. So again, this is just more of what we've been seeing. PR and teams having to do whatever it is so the Generals look good. Or win a game or whatever.
Generals.
All right, should we go on?
Go ahead.
Okay, so there's this. Nobody knows how good the team will or won't be. Well, no shit, Sherlock. However, we do have a history. We do have a history with the Walmart Generals. We know that their player personnel. There are things we know based off of history and who player personnel that they have. You want to add to that?
No, I mean I said it at the beginning of this video. I mean I kind of just spoke my piece on that whole subject. So,
okay. So these people go on. You have no idea what impact the additions and losses will have, what impact injuries will have, what adjustments the coaches will make, how much better or worse the teams will play this season. Better or worse teams we play this season will be. It's all speculation at this point. Well, no shit, Sherlock. Isn't that the basis of what we always say around here? That there's all these factors. What didn't we say? I kept trying to emphasize to you and Bubble Man that the one thing going for the Walmart Generals are these other NFL teams, most of them, maybe out of maybe 4 or 5, are very close to where the Walmart Generals are. So even though they had losing seasons, 2 or 3 losing seasons, I said each one of those seasons they were capable of a 9-win season based off of what he's saying. Doing a one-and-done playoff appearance, of course, that's going to be a Super Bowl. That'll be, if they make a one-and-done, that'll be a Super Bowl. And that's been the basis of the rest of the NFL isn't that far behind. So we've been saying that all along. Anything else?
Go ahead.
Okay. So you don't know more than anyone else. Well, actually, we do. We have a track record. You don't know more than anyone else because you just look at one player. You listen to grifters. You don't think critically. You don't want to bother yourself with the all-22, looking at every single position, looking at the opposition, watching their positions. You don't want to do anything except listen to a bunch of grifters telling you everything you want to hear. Yes, if we didn't know anything, well, how come our track record? We have all our videos up. Everybody knows it, and they hate our guts because we're right season after season after season. They hate us for that. Anything else?
No.
Okay. Certainly not more than actual coaches. What the hell do coaches know? If coaches were all knowing, everybody would be winning games, right? Right? And he's talking about the coaches on the teams itself.
Yes.
Yeah. And it doesn't matter what the coaches know anyway, because the front office says these are the players you're going to use. These are the players. Baron Browning, he's going to go here. That's where he wants to go, right? Simmons says that the team can coach itself. Fangio, you're gone. So I don't know what you're smoking. First of all, coaches don't mean anything in this league. I'm beginning to think. So speculating the team will be bad. Well, again, we have a history. This team has been bad for 9 years, getting worse each year. Speculating, what's their? I think. What about the other side of the coin? The pendulum speaks both ways. What about speculating that your boy Bo Nix there is going to be Tom Brady or the next Patrick Mahomes?
Again, we have 8-9 years of this, man. I don't understand. I don't understand what these Walmart General fans think on a daily basis. I'm not in their head, but man, the comments that come across this platform and my platform, I just really want to throw up in my bucket because you guys are just really, really weird individuals.
Well, when you've been gaslit, so many times, you are mental. I'm just believing it.
It's just what this comment is just ring around the rosy type shit. I mean,
this is what we do. We are an evidence-based channel. We need evidence, and evidence to us isn't a game in the preseason or a scrimmage in the preseason that's not even a game with 2s and 3s or whatever. That's not evidence. We need to see a season under our belt. Like you said, there's things like, is Mahomes just not showing up? And the rest of the team. I mean, how motivated can you get? Who's going to be out? Are they going to sit stars? Who knows? Is there going to be 12 men on the field? We need a whole season and see what, like that winning streak for us was nothing but a mirage. because there was always they never beat somebody flat out who was clicking on, at least just clicking on all cylinders, not necessarily doing anything spectacular, but just having their full player personnel in and clicking on all cylinders. And I granted, Broncos can't be blamed if the Vikings don't have their starting quarterback or receiver. But the point is, if those are the only games you are winning, we have to take that under consideration, because you can't beat teams when they have full personnel and they're not making mistakes. Okay, so we do have things to go by. It's just they don't want to acknowledge the other side of the coin, where they're making these grandioso claims. Especially about one guy. And again, we feel sorry for this guy because we just don't see him living up to those expectations based off the player personnel around him, first of all. Anyway, that's my take on maybe a condensed version of the video we did yesterday. And yes, this whole idea that there was a quarterback competition, of course, even those quarterbacks had to known it was fake. And I'm just going to say that whole PR thing with Green Bay was just to sell Bo Nix as a starter. Why? This team can't be honest. Why don't you say, we drafted you first round, we're going to go see how you. They can't even just be straight with people. They just can't do it. So, I don't want to see Seattle. I want to see them give the Broncos their A game. I don't want to see them, Geno Smith is he's out, and these other players are out, or they look like they're not trying out there, or they're purposely buckling around. I mean, come on, Seattle. The Broncos, the PR, but they all told you how stupid you were, your front office. I would like to see you do a little, let's see how good you really are. I'd like to see some of that. Give them a real test. This guy says test. Let's see a real test. All out test. That's what I want to see. What about you?
I really want to see anything happening this season? I mean, the NFL is a dying product, so I mean, if you're excited about these games, more power to you. I'm more excited about college and high school football than I am the NFL, because the NFL is just a neutered product at this point.
Totally neutered.
I don't enjoy watching Walmart General games. I don't enjoy watching the NFL anymore. I'm starting to more and more enjoy watching college football more and more, high school football more and more, because they can actually play the game. They actually can get away with a lot more than what the.
I have a contract, right? I have a contract, Coach. You can't talk to me that way, Coach. I got a contract. Okay. And also, I don't want to be hit too hard, right? Throw the flag.
Also, I just want to say this to the grifters and the commenters on this platform as well. It's really nauseating to hear you guys defend pussification. It is really nauseating when you guys defend it, saying, "Oh, you guys are too mean to the Walmart Generals," or "You guys are too hard on them." I remember back in the day when coaches, so on and so forth, players took hard criticism, and in today's NFL, I mean, it's all about pampering the quarterback. It's all about kissing the quarterback's ass. There's
only one player on this team. It's not a 53-man team. No, it's not. It's not 11 guys out on the field. No, not anymore.
And the video that you did just proves my point. Like, they don't care about the hard work that I do when I provide the film breakdowns.
No, you don't know anything.
They don't care. They don't care about that stuff. And that video that we did together, when you put the title and thumbnail, just proved my point even more.
Yeah.
So I'm done.
This video is called Bo Nix wins the fake quarterback competition.
Yep, and your views will go up. Even when it's suppressed, they'll still go up. So
yeah, and we don't even buy the views. We don't buy the stuff that are going, because they're all going to tell us again that we see this every year.
That's fine.
How wrong?
So
yeah, how wrong we are.
On to you. I don't respond to I just don't respond to people like that anymore. I'm done with it. I'm done.
Well, I just wanted to say that an old-time, long-time high school coach told me that that pussification is starting to infiltrate into the high school. Parents, you know, we used to, as kids, this is back, 70s, back in the 70s, back in the dinosaur days. As kids, we liked playing NFL, but it just got to, we didn't want to go and huddle and all that. So what we did is we made an American version of rugby because we wanted to just keep going and go. We didn't want to stop and huddle and do all that garbage. So it caught on. We had like people from all over the place would come, and we'd play these like rugby games. And everybody that went on to play organized football from that were the best tacklers because we knew how to tackle. We didn't have helmets, shoulder pads. I hated wearing, when I finally played organized football, I had to put on helmets, shoulder pads for the first time. I hated it. It was like a bucket on my head. I couldn't. I hated it. But I knew how, because I played without it. I knew how to wrap up people like that, bring them down, and this stuff head on. And I just like watched Drain, for instance, like whiff, because he didn't want to take him on in the trenches head on. That's what you do as a safety corner. I mean, that's like you get that opportunity. Back in my day, it was like, yeah, man, I gotta hit somebody in the trenches. It's like, yes, but you don't have that mentality anymore. It's just not there. Tommy Jackson back in the 90s, I said this the last film. He mentioned that the college players they wanted to do the big hits, the equipment hits. They said they're losing that knowledge of how to wrap people up and bring them down, how to actually tackle. Because while they want to do that, they also do a lot of missed tackles doing that. They also open themselves for injury. And Tommy Jackson said in the 90s, you're going to see things like concussions and the rest of this stuff going up. So again, I'm reemphasizing this. What is the solution? It's not to go back and do, like you said, teach techniques, get back to football, the core football. It's to pussify the game. Throw a flag when a guy makes a legal hit on a tight end or any receiver coming down. You can't hit hard. No, he hit too hard. They just call it hit too hard. The refs should just come out and say, this is a personal foul. Defender hit the receiver too hard, 15 yards. Just call it what it is. Stop. Continue the personal foul. What is it? Oh, player hit too hard. But I'm just hoping that it's like, remember I told you my daughter's team won state. Their football team won state. And I talked to one of the players, and he said that Dave Logan's team, they played Dave Logan's team and beat him. He said they already have all their college stuff all wrapped up. So they didn't give a shit about playing. And he said they certainly didn't want to get hit hard out there. It had nothing to do with that. They just wanted to get in it, get it over with, and go. And he said that's essentially why we won it so easily. Because that's the mindset now. What did we have the Alabama coach leave, and what did his wife say? They all come in now, and what did she say is like what's something about where they are, like a lottery or something. I don't know, what was that?
They on a guaranteed spot.
And pay. Wasn't it a pay deal? How much money are they going to make?
Yeah.
So they're all out of it now. I mean, all the people that Belichick's out now. He's grifting for the Walmart Generals. Yeah, it's a sad state across the world. I was just trying to tell you too that this pussification has been going globally for over a century, easily, with different cultures and whatnot. See, when the Romans came in too, that's how kind of the Roman model. The Romans would come in, and they'd take over an area, and they would just absorb you. Whatever your traditions, so you just we don't, we don't. You're going to be now Roman citizen. You're going to do it our way, and they just cut your balls off. And if you want to pick up a sword, you join the Roman army. So you can't do you can't go to the shaman temple and kung fu it up. Anyway, that's my 2 cents. I didn't get paid for that, by the way. There was no grifting.
Yeah, there was no grifting on your part.
No. All right, I'm sorry we had to do this again. Let's see if we can download this. That ought to be really interesting.
All right. Take care.
All right, Kirk out.